Hold on!
You smoking a wooden pipe?
Is she smoking a wooden pipe?
Well, it's my ex-husband, for fuck's sake.
Ugh, that's gross.
Just go. Get your ass out of here. They're not paying me enough for this shit.
Hey guys, my name's Chris and I'm the art director at Interceptor. I will be guiding you through some of the visuals in our game, Rad Rodgers. Alright, let's jump into the game. So, first level. This is the opening scene in the cinematic. You'll see the very first playable part of the the level. We, with making Rads, we wanted to approach it specifically for, for making things in mind of creating a side scroller. So, when you're making things in production, you want to make it as optimized and efficiently as possible. So, with it being a fixed camera game, I really wanted to optimize it as much as we could in terms of asset creation and set dressing. So let's have a look at some of the construction. So when we first were deciding how we wanted to approach building things for our side-scrolling game, I set up a mesh banding construction kind of guide. When you are building assets specifically for a fixed camera, you can take a lot more kind of leeway with what kind of detail assets you can use. You'll have a specific layer where it's more detailed meshes, and then the further back it goes, the further away it goes as well in the kind of fate perspective distance. You don't need it to be as detailed, which means less time. But it's not in the sense that you're kind of skimping out on details. It's being very specific about where you place those eye-catching details. We have our foreground area, which is a mixture between silhouette stuff and a little bit of dressing. It's in front of the play area. Then we have the play area itself. Now for this, you would think, oh sure, this is where we stick everything in. But when you have a lot of platforming, like specific challenges, and has to be accurate platforming, you want to make sure that's the kind of only thing within that band. I will show you through the actual level section, and although when you look at it from the game view you can't really pick up these bands, but if you turn the camera just straight right, you can see, oh, this is where this band stops and this band stops. And it's that smart dressing which creates the illusion of a fully realized world. So behind the play area we have a high detail band. This will be where we place all the all the nice details, all the really high density stuff. This is where we place all the kind of eye candy. And then behind that we have three sort of background layers where things get progressively flatter. So we'll go from full meshes to half meshes to just planar. So you got like a rough kind of layout of a level section, then showing how you would integrate the some of the level assets in there. So we've got some trees holding stuff up, and then once we've got like a rough little sketch of an area, we can then band it. So we'll take a concept and then band that concept into these different layers using just color types. So if we go back into our game, see if you can spot some of the layers. And as we turn, you can see it becomes a lot clearer. So here we have very, very low foreground stuff where it's a little bit of dressing, And we've still got to add some silhouette type dressing in, well, just before the camera when you enter like a dense area, and so it looks like you're inside a bush, kind of, you know, looking out. So it creates the idea that you know, there's a whole world behind you as well. And if you're wondering what all this stuff is, this is for reflections, because we're using you know, PBR pipelines, which is physically based rendering. So reflections are no longer solely texture based; they're real time. So you can see here we have a really clear straight line going right down here, and it's mainly platforms and pickups, and this is the play area. And then behind that you can see we have a pretty dense mesh band. It's like right up the middle. And then you can see it's getting progressively flatter. You can see me going outside of the post-processing box, but you can see it's going from slightly lower meshes into full planar, and then as we go further back, it's even more flat. But you don't notice this when you're well, you can if you know where to look, but it still looks like these layers blend into each other. Like you can say where some of the dressing changes, but it's not super clear as to where stuff stops and stuff starts. Let's open up some concept stuff. So here was one of the earliest, well, not the earliest, but one of the more, once we'd settled on the style, like, and we decided this was the style we were going for, because we have, you know, with pre-production you have an experimenting stage where you try and define the style, and you go through it until, you know, you're like, yes, this is what we're going to do. And this is one of the earliest concepts we did for a level. Within that, you know, now locked down style, and you can see it's still very similar to how the level ended up. I mean, the level is a lot more detailed, but you can recognize, oh, this is the start area, and then you go along, and there's those two platforms. Now we had like a series of these, and like I said when we were looking at this, you can see I've cut things up, and we've done the same with a lot of our concepts. So here we have a background asset cut up. So we've taken some elements from the concept and made them into a series of planes that we can dress and scale in the background. So we've got some bushes and trees and some land and stuff. It's easier to kind of see in some levels where it's not as dense, because we've got a lot of dense you know, foliage and bushes. But if we open up the swamp, one of the swamp level concepts, you can then see exactly where we've taken assets from. We've got a background, we've got some like background just before that background, trees, and then we've got some ground layers and some, you know, scaffolding and a little bit of plants here and there. And if you combine those together, you get this. Now this is still a 2D image, but it's just all those layers stuck together, and we can do that exact thing in the level, and that's what we've done for a lot of these levels. We've used that mix, that blend of 3D assets and well, concept art turned 2D asset to create a sense of depth within our games.